Hello and welcome to this series, which is all about this Lego room and of course my life. Now this one follows on from the Winter Village move, and fingers crossed this should be simple enough. We are going to be base plating all underneath the Apocalypseburg set, and we are going to turn that into sort of a Mad Max area. So that should be simple enough, just adding in some tan base plates. And yes, by the name of the title of this video, we are also making space for a Lego delivery. Now I've got a few sets that are coming. For some reason it's coming in two separate packages, which is absolutely fine, but the first package has already arrived. The box is absolutely enormous, it actually comes to my hip, but the second box doesn't arrive for a few hours, and if I don't make space for the rest of this delivery, I'm not then going to be able to do the unboxing video, which has already been uploaded. So this upload will make some space, we'll tidy up the rest of the area where the Winter Village bits and pieces was, and then I will run through after all of the sets that have been delivered. So, with that being said, let's get to it. So today has been a bit of a whirlwind. I've managed to edit 3 videos together. 2 of them are already up on YouTube. This one's absolutely massive. It is 21.86 gigabyte in length. So that is a big chunk. So that's just going to be rendering in the background because that is actually the Winter Village move. Now, talking of moves, there are 1 or 2 bits and pieces that I need to get out of the way. So we need to get rid of this table for starters, but underneath this table is that massive box. And when I say it's massive, it is huge. Honestly, it is the biggest box, I'll show you now, that I have ever received from the Lego group. How I'm actually going to be able to unbox this, I don't know. This is kind of a little bit of like a behind the scenes of me getting ready for a Lego haul video. So it's big, and I don't know why it's as big as what it is. I don't know if it's in 2 boxes. I don't know why they just didn't make this one smaller. Not that it matters to me, but it is an absolute beast of a thing. And I just, oh, hello, I just about managed to get it up. So yes, that is the size of that. No, the address or anything isn't on it, which is great. So in a few hours time, I will be making the unboxing video, and we'll actually be seeing what is in this one. But this looks like it's box 2 of 2. And I haven't received the first box yet, so good old DPD. Now, not only has this arrived today, I have done a thing. We like that, don't we? We like it when I'm stupid. 2 uploads ago, which would have been literally 48 hours ago in my time, I was making space for a Winter Village display. I've made space for the Winter Village display. I then ordered the Lion Knight's Castle on double points. I've managed to get the medieval market as well, so obviously they will work perfectly well as a pair. And in case you aren't into your castle bits and pieces, there is one huge faction that goes up against the Lion Knights, which of course, well, it's the Black Falcons. Now the Black Falcons was a Bricklink designer program from series 1. It just happened to be that one was being sold 20 minutes from where I lived, and it is in that box just there. It's brand new in the shipper box. I haven't yet looked at it, and we will be taking a closer look at that towards the end of this video once I've actually done the unboxing video. So, like I said, base plates underneath, making space for that. I need to make a little bit of a walkway, and then I can just run through all the sets that I've got and basically future ideas of where all these sets are going to be going. So I think rather than just having them all piled up, like obviously they're good to go with regards now to the unboxing videos that we're going to be doing, because when this delivery arrives, it'll have the rest of the construction sets in. I can get them built up, do a comparison video of all of them, show off all the box artwork, yada, yada, yada. They all go off and get recycled. So I think what I need to do is make the space over there, or just condense that area down, get what boxes I can up on that table, because obviously I've got to be careful when I take it off. I don't want to hit the lights, I obviously don't want to damage any of the other Lego sets. And then once that unboxing video is done, place them all back on that table, which is the space that we're going to make now, and then we can just distribute exactly where each set is going to go within this upload, and then we'll be good to go for future building and all of that kind of thing. And then at least that way it means I can actually base plate that area for what that area is going to be. So yeah, there's quite a bit to do, quite a few Lego sets. This is my biggest ever Lego haul period. So there's going to be quite a lot of sets I'm going to get my teeth sunk into and have a bit of fun with, which is fantastic. So we are working on this table. I have a bar of chocolate on the go. I have 3 spare batteries just beside me, so I don't need to run up and down, and they should last a little while. We get about 45 minutes to an hour if you're lucky out of each one of those batteries, but don't forget it is only a GoPro 8. And I know that the new GoPro, which is the 13, is an hour and a half or 2 hour battery or something like that. So just for the battery length alone, I am intrigued. Right, so I am just going to move these, get the base plates up, and put the I think I'm going to have to put the Winter Village stuff in with the rest of the Winter Village bits and pieces, I think. Whatever doesn't fit in there will obviously then go in the Winter Village box, which I just do off camera. And this was going to be our pile of where can we distribute the sets. So we've got what we've got. We've got the Spider-Man No Way Home, we've got He-Man Castle, we've got the A-Frame cabin, and we've got the Flintstones, which is all up on the chopping block at the moment, which I yet have figured out an idea for them. But these things are chunky, heavy, and these all need to go out the way. So that is going to be me carting them up and down. But hopefully, if I can just get these off this and onto this table, I am hoping that I can just lie that box down and then lie the box that you're stood on top of it, or vice versa, and then should be good to go. So yeah, there's quite a bit to sort of prep and do for the video. There always is. There's always stuff that I've got to do with regards to moving bits and bobs and things like that. But like I said, it's only been opened to make sure that it is the correct thing. It's fully sealed and it's still in the shipper box. And Jamie was a lovely chap. So yeah, it's nice to meet another AFOL, which is great. So that's just the product number on there. So I don't need to worry about that. I was just actually checking if the back of the camera was still on, because I'm still having a few problems with this after it has been battered. So yeah, item number 6471991. Yeah, it's all there. So it's a pretty cool thing, because obviously this is Lego's sort of current, I was about to say it's their current way of shipping the boxes. I'm gonna have to move you again, but obviously it seems to have changed ever so slightly, because this would have been January. Just making sure that the address, this is what I do, just make sure that none of the address is wrong, because this won't have my address on. So just making sure this doesn't, this one I know doesn't. Honestly, this thing is huge, and it's hitting the roof already. So honestly, that's outrageous. That is outrageous. So I think I'm going to have to do this slightly differently with regards to the unboxing. Like I said, this is going to be more of a behind the scenes, very, very weird and wonderful. So normally I set the table up here. I normally put the camera on the loop coaster and get a bird's eye view of unboxing. But I think I'm going to have to sit this side and almost rip it open. I don't know, then to sort of face the camera and do it, but I haven't got anywhere to put the box behind me. So I could put the box underneath on the floor. That might be the only option. I have the table across, stack the boxes underneath the table once I've shown off the size of the boxes, and then literally just show the Lego sets and then put them where you are. Because I think the boxes are going to be too big to have all on the table at the same time. That's not flex, it's just one of those things of getting a new display. So I think that's going to have to be the plan of attack. So it's only the glass that needs to move. The Harry Potter needs to go over behind you. We've got the white base plates over there. Now, white base plates, this is the other thing. With that fortress, because obviously it's Lion Knights versus that, and both of them look phenomenal side by side. Where does it go? are we going to have all of that space underneath in the middle for the 2 castles? And there is a third one coming, which I do actually want it over there. That's not until this time next year. It's like it's 12 months away. But they all link in together because the Lion Knight's castle has a figure in from this one. This one has a Lion Knight's prisoner in. The medieval has a bit of both in. And the potion thing that's coming out in series 7 has one of each minifigure in. It has a purple one, which is the bounty hunters. Then it has the Lion Knights, and then it has the one from the new Bricklink set. So it has the Falcon in. So maybe that's the 3 sort of tribes that I go for. I've got the 2 that are fighting each other. Then I've got one which is just the bounty hunters. And then we try and tell a story within the theme park from that, because you can easily get carried away. But it's quite nice that they interlink with each other, because every set that I have has figures in from the other sets, which is pretty cool. So yeah, that'd be another thing that I need to think of at a later date with regards to what is going on there. Now the other thing that I need to think of is the carousel, because I don't know where that carousel is going to go. We know that the Ferris wheel is going over where you are now. Right, there's Lord of the Rings characters that need to be shifted. So I think I'm going to do that and I'll bring the Lord of the Rings characters over. But this is the last time that these things are going to be Lord of the Rings. Dungeons and Dragons, this will be the last time these have been moved over. Why these keep getting moved, I do not know, to be honest with you. So we have got all the CMFs just here. You're going to come back down again. And we will put these CMFs here. Now I'm not going to bury them. The video after this one is actually going to be me tiling all of these. So I will get the light back out so you can see all the bits and pieces and see what's going on. And yeah, that kind of thing. And then of course we will get this one out and get the sort of like all the bits and pieces correct within the display, because we've got the Disney Castle is either on its way or it's here. So that's going to go up on that bit. And the only thing that I still need to order is actually just some base plates. But I did say that I was going to start from the Shire, wrap it round and finish on that base plate, because I'm not 100% sure until the Bricklink program is actually live and then it arrives which way to carry on with the path. So that's not too much of a problem. We've got the big thing just there. I don't know what that thing's called. So Joey's screaming at the telly, "You're an idiot." I was like, yes, I know, I pay no attention. And then we have got the last few bits from that set that I do believe that are over here. So yes, the carousel has 2 options. Really, it has 2 options with regards to, I'm not going to move it today. I was going to move it. I was actually going to put it over here, but I'm only putting the base plates down, and because I'm now doing this, I don't really think for the sake of moving it, it's going to make much of a difference. The carousel, I said to you before that I can get just a double Kallax and put it in that corner so it hides the white wall, and it will allow me basically to put a set there. So the carousel could be the divider from Ninjago into this bit. Now, if that was to happen and it got pulled forward, what I then think I would be more tempted to do is bring the Kallaxes forward so they basically come to a base plate and a half in depth. So that if you see that base plate and a half is just before it hits that bit of wood. So then the display is further forward, and it means I can get more on the front before it hits the green. But as it stands right now, it's a base plate depth behind the green slant. But whatever goes behind the green slant, you can't really see. So it's very much a case of, I think I might just have to make something custom up that will fit behind it, which is just smaller. And then we try and fit 2 bigger sets at the front. Because the other option is it stays as it is, it just stays there because it can be seen. And the goldsmith goes in the corner, and we have a runoff from the goldsmith of water, and it's just water based in that back corner. So I just basically put some blue base plates down and don't touch it. The Apocalypse Bird goes back in the corner, which would look quite nice with the gold mine behind it potentially. And then the Bounty Castle for next year goes at the front here, and then all of it is just sand and everything else, and jobs are good. Now, of course, I have looked at what we've done down at the bottom, and it just happens to be that we have sand, snow and green for the 3 different castles. So if those 3 went there, then it would be different, because Tatooine potentially could go up onto the shelf and just have the castles underneath, and then on this side it carries on with the Star Wars. So I am keeping my options open, but I do want to keep it as clean as possible. But I think the Bounty Castle, because it's supposed to be in the middle of nowhere and it tells a bit of a story, we've got the 2 factions fighting each other, and then the other one would look quite smart over on this side. They mimic, they have around the theme parks, they have more than one of the same theming, don't they? So got to keep that in mind. So what needs to come? Ferris wheel. Ferris wheel needs to come over. That's still ticking over. And I did say, obviously, once this is all done, because the Kallax then will be finished with the snow stuff, I don't have to worry about falling down the loft ladders, to everybody's disappointment, obviously. And that side of craziness will be done, because of, obviously, this goes back in every January. It'll go back slightly differently, and it's finished. And yeah, it's just done and done. So where you are, I was going to put all of the construction sets where that box is. That was the plan. That was the plan for that. So these need to actually come out of the way, because I'm not putting any of these back. So their obsession with toilets continues. That is a cool little cement mixer, which I do like the look of. So I will put these down just down here for now, and then as I find more of these, so there's 2 more D&D characters. So there's the base there, where it is. That's the base for that one. So that, I was about to joke around and go, that piece will never be seen again, but that has just rolled so much I don't even know what it was. So at the moment, that piece will never be seen again. It hits the ground, but cube, got it. I found the cube, it's fine. I say, because it being clear, it's a really nice printed piece on that. You don't particularly want to be losing that. Right, crane. You're in the right place. I hope you're in the right place, because you seem quite, I don't know, you seem hot. That's all it is. You are rather toasty. Should be okay. Should be okay. Right. So we are about 90 minutes out from this delivery. So you've got plenty of time to do this, and I'll finish this off, start the tiling, and then we'll just jump between some of the videos. So in the next sort of 2 uploads, you're going to be jumping between bits. But this thing now can be used properly, which is great. What a thing it is as well. It is huge. So 2 base plates in length. I've got 3 base plates of space where you are, so that'll be good. I just don't know what colour base plates to put down for that. Yeah. Right, because that's staying put. That one is... I have to go with the diner, isn't it? Yeah. It can't really go anywhere else, so that can just go with the diner. I've got the blue one as well, so I'll put that with it. That's the taxi that goes with this. Right, base plates. So I want to make this look a little bit more neat and tidy. So we'll put you there. It's the Statue of Liberty. It is, well, the Apocalypse Bird set. Sorry, it really is just insane. Insane. How this thing was out for less than a year, I do not know. I know the film was just terrible, but you would have thought you'd have kept this set out for a little bit longer than, what was it, 8 months I think it was out for. And that's basically it. Right, I don't think it was out for, really wasn't out for that long. Right, I've just grabbed all of our nice tan base plates. As you can see, we do have one here, which is good. So this, hopefully now, if I'm just clever about it, isn't going to be as difficult now as what it has been in the past. So that is there for Tatooine, there for this display. So I've got all the pab cups ready. So if I go 1, 2, because if you remember, I thought the Winter Village would hold 9 base plates. I was getting mixed up with the top because, ladies and gentlemen, I am an absolute melon. Oh, because of the base of these, how difficult is this going to be just each side? Once I can get this up and on, it should be alright, but it's just such a chunky thing. Alright, so we are to the front on that one, and that one. Pick that up like a pizza. Do not take those base plates, please. Just slide and glide for me. Thank you. Slide and glide, nice and simple. Come on, we've got the weight on there now, so you should go. Oh, no. Come on. Doesn't help that the calyxes aren't exactly straight, but that's just me being a plum. Right. Oh, Statue of Liberty is there. Now we can get that one underneath. Yeah, because I'm not 100% sure how that carousel is holding on, to be quite honest. But that can go there. What have we got left? 3. That's 1. Right. Over. Figure out what they're all for. That's from Dungeons and Dragons. That's from Lord of the Rings. So I'll grab all of those in a little bit when I start to tile. Well, how does that work then? Why are we... Alright, that all minus a little bit of a push from the base plate that is refusing to go there. Oh, please. Can't quite figure out why I can see a load of white. Not 100% sure what... No, where it's dragging on the Statue of Liberty. That's what I'm trying to get at. Are we all level? Nearly. Nearly. Right. Statue of Liberty was there. And we still have... It's just going to annoy me. I can't get that base plate to push. What, 3 studs? That's all I want it to do. I just want it to push up and it's done. I can't lift the Statue of Liberty up. And for some reason I can't push this forward. I don't know what it's stuck on. Honestly, it's like mythical powers in this Lego room that would just be like, no, we are not allowing you to do something that should be really simple. Honestly, I know it's painful to watch, but good grief, what is this all about? Alright, come on please. Let's get that back angled. Finally, right, it's in. Right, they're all in, they're near enough level. Right, oh, I can see what, there we go. Right, I am stuck. Right, out. Happy days. Well, there's the Statue of Liberty. Probably. If I left it just like that, rather than the angle that it was at, you can't see anything that's behind that anyway. So because you can't see anything that's behind it, like I said, drag it forward. But if I dragged it forward, the carousel has to come out. It stays where it is. I would spin this. Keep it close. I would spin it. And we'll sort of have it more like that, which I think is roughly how it was before. That's sort of that that angle, because you can have a nice path that comes out of the coffee and it goes around the front. So as it stands right now, there's 1, 2, 3 full base plates with nothing on, and then there'll be a full base plate and a half behind the statue. So what do we think about putting a set to the right hand side, and what do you think it should be? The gold mine is the closest. It will be, I don't want to hide that because that doubles up as multiple rides. You've got the gold mine at Legoland everywhere. It's at Windsor definitely, where you mine for gold. It is a theming that they have around the Legoland parks. Seems to be all the Bricklink Designer Program stuff is all the stuff that they have at the Legoland parks, and everybody's gone crazy for it. So I don't know why it's actually not been a main theme, but you know, it is what it is. So the gold could look quite nice because you have the water coming through, and I could, as a little bit of an Easter egg, have circular gold bits dotted in the water, like going down the stream. So that would link in. That would link in quite nicely from the watery gold aspect of things in that corner, and then everything else just stays open. And then again, depending on if I find a home for the carousel or not, because the carousel potentially can come up to the top here, because it might be quite nice to have a larger ride here. Now if I can get that up and onto these tables now, because we have got, how many did we have? We had 15 base plates we've got over this side. So if we utilise the space over here and we have the carousel up top, we would then pull them forward, I think, but then potentially make more use of space out of it. I don't know. So yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know what you think with regards to how that looks. I can just visualise all that area just being sand and it just being sort of a complete disaster area. I just don't know if the carousel would split up the sci-fi and space section, because I have a vision of Transformers and the roller coaster, quite a few rides in the middle, big and small, and then at the far end the Starship Enterprise, if as and when that ever happens, because that would be the most built up bit for all those kind of things. So yeah, maybe that's what I do. Maybe I'll commit to that when we get to that section. We base plate that. I'm just thinking out loud now. pull these forward a base plate in half. That shuts the gap up on the floor, brings everything further forward. It gives me more. I'd basically have 6 base plates without having to worry of height then, which I think is a safer option. And then the back 3 would just be smaller, and then I think we can crack on and go from there. But it all depends if that can fit. So there's lots of fun and games to be had in the near future. I'm now not going to bore you with moving this, but you can see exactly what's going to be happening. Those boxes I will just pile up in that corner, so they're all together, ready for all the unboxing videos of different bits and pieces. And obviously these are the smaller bits that I was going to use to divide up all the other little bits and bobs. And obviously now potentially we could do them with a slightly bigger thing as well. And because that carousel is broken, I could have all the construction crew just around the carousel. At least that way the carousel will be on display. Put all the pieces finally beside it. And because there's nothing on here, it actually then means I can fix it. So that sounds like a win-win and a win to me. So that I think is what we're going to do. But obviously I can't do that until all of these are out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to catch back up with you once I have done the unboxing video. And I can run you through all the different sets that are in this box, and a box that is still on the way. Right, so we are coming back up to the aftermath of this video, and when I say there's boxes on boxes, absolutely outrageous. So on the inside there's loads and loads of shipper boxes, and you can see all of the different sets that we have to try and sort out. It's not going to take forever, obviously, there's not too many of them, but we have got Jaws, we've got the Beauty and the Beast castle, the giveaway purchase that is going to be sold, we've got no interest in that whatsoever. Ninjago, there is the Bricklink Designer Series 1 castle, which is very, very exciting. And then we have got the construction sets, which funny enough are in the correct place, which is great. So I've just got to put those boxes over with them, and then that is a good start. The one thing I need to try and do is make a bit of crawling space so I can get from one side to another. So that needs to go over there. That also needs to go over there, so that's not too bad. Jaws. Well, Star Wars needs to go with the Star Wars, so that can now move. All this can now move, can't it? Star Wars can go with Star Wars. Marvel is in the Marvel. In fact, the Marvel can go there, because that is waiting for the Peter Parker apartments, and then we're all right. So, what can I fit there? A little spinning. The Jaws obviously will fit there fine. But I wonder if I can fit Jaws and Ninjago there, which would be great. This Ninjago box is massive. Look at the size of this. A good looking set. So we have got a lot of building to get on with. There you go. That is those two's in situ. Fantastic. Right. Spin you around, crawl under the table, and we will carry on and carry on. So the good thing with the upload, nothing drastically got smashed, which is great, which actually does, to be honest, make a change. You know, it's going to be highly disappointing to people, but I don't intentionally break things. But the one thing that didn't go well was this box, obviously, as we know, it's huge. And, hang on. Oh, you're filthy. Hang on. That's better. Right, so that is there. That's with it. Alright, so that is my construction stuff, which looks pretty cool. So I'm looking forward to building all of them. That's actually going to be the first thing I'm going to build. So I want to do a nice comparison video with all of them, because I think they are great. And now this monstrosity of a box. Is the one that needs to move. Now the crane. Oh, come on. The crane. This is where it's going to live. And that is good. So the crane's over there. Beauty and the Beast isn't going to stay there for long because I'm actually going to try and that'll be my next build that I'm going to do. But actually that is going underneath against that wall. Alright, 2 more. Ooh. All of a sudden it's all distributed where it needs to go, which is great. These two I'm looking forward to plonking together. I've got some more construction stuff underneath here, so I'll get these all mixed up. I'm going to need these for the video. Right, so that is some meat mixer, random toilets, minifigures, hard hats. That's good. Right, there we go. That is everything. All in the right place. I said this thing is going to get sold. This table is coming, if I'm taking it off, but it's going to go straight back up tomorrow when I start to do that. So I have a good plan of attack. The only problem I have is I can't get to the loft layers. So yeah, not exactly ideal, but I can now just flat pack all of these, get all of that recycled. So yeah, 2 over there, Jaws and Ninjago. This nice big area for the construction. So what's going to happen is I'm going to build up obviously the construction sets, do a full comparison and review, because obviously this bulldozer is relatively new and it'd be quite nice to see it for scale and things like that. And then here I think I'm going to put down a load of just grey base plates. It'd be 3 deep, probably 3 wide, and just have it as a construction, under construction thing. Then I will get the carousel and probably put that beside it, and then by that time I'd have figured out what I'm going to be doing with all of these. And I did say that the Winter Village stuff was going to go with the Winter Village stuff. Hasn't really happened. I've been so busy. So I'll do that off camera, or I'll do that just, you'll probably see it for a couple of uploads and it will disappear. Yeah, so plan of attack now for the next couple of uploads, I think, is I've got to get all of these built, and then I've got to do an unboxing review comparison of that. Underneath the table for the nice path all the way around, and then the adding in the Beauty and the Beast. And then basically, over a period of time, we'll work our way around to the other things. So I'm going to have to get the lighting for this ready for when it's time. Not now, but yeah, get the lighting for this. So a busy day tomorrow. So keep your eyes peeled for all of the future uploads, because there's going to be a few of them, I would imagine, coming. And yeah, hopefully you've already watched my biggest haul. This is the biggest haul I've ever done. Lots and lots and lots of pieces. I mean, bearing in mind the Lion Knight's castle isn't here yet, so that Lion Knight's castle is going to go with that. We've got 3 medieval sets and Ninjago stuff, and all of that has got to be, that's over 10,000 pieces, isn't it? Easily. And then you've got all the other bits and pieces to go with it. So yeah, we haven't done bad. So let me know what you think with regards to that layer over in that corner. I think it would be better to pull the carousel out and try and get it onto here. It's just a lot of work. Now if I commit to it being here, I will kind of use the width of the carousel, and in front of the carousel will be all of the other like funfair type stuff, and it will just be a clear divide of one roller coaster into the space section, because the space section will have its own roller coaster, but it won't be the big one. It'll be the drop tower instead. So there'll be a coaster against the blue wall and just a Transformers, which isn't going to take up a huge amount of space. and then the other bit. So it'd be quite nice to have like a fun, not so much of a funfair feel, but just almost like a clear divide from sci-fi to space. So it just looks like it's 3 separate lands. And like I said, at least that way the Ferris wheel can be used, all of the other smaller sets can be used, that little banana swing can get used and all that kind of stuff, and it's all in the same zone. Because it was close to the red coaster, wasn't it? And now that's all going to go as a one-piece theme. I kind of want to have all of them close together as a bit of a theming. So yeah, got loads and loads of bits and pieces to do. Obviously, with all of this, the road plates and stuff will be on hold probably now until maybe the next double points or a sale or something. I'm going to need a few of those. And then, yeah, we'll just see what happens. But if you could, again, like this video and subscribe to the channel, that'd be absolutely fantastic. But as always, thank you very much for watching. You'll take care and pick us next one.